When the Defender's 67-year production run ended in 2016, it had already been nearly 2 decades since one could be found in a U.S. Land Rover dealership. The 1997 Defender 90, with its 4-liter V8, 4-speed auto, and 13 mpg, was a British-born Jeep rival. But since, Land Rover's SUV lineup has trended more towards afternoon tea and less towards morning box hunts. But the Defender's highly anticipated return is finally here, recapturing some of the original's raw ruggedness with modern-day accoutrements.
Spurred by low gas prices, choking traffic, and an insatiable appetite for SUVs, the off-road vehicle movement has never been riper. I'm talking about real capability that can get you away from all the craziness. From trucks to sport utes, there have never been so many competent choices. Enter the new Defender, a modern interpretation of the iconic original. The days of needing body-on-frame construction and solid axles to prove your off-road mettle are passé. This Defender is modern, smart, and everyday luxurious while being respectful to its past. It's purpose-built for off-roading, but that's not its only personality trait. Made from an all-new aluminum unibody, Land Rover says is the stiffest platform they've ever created, underpinned by a fully independent air suspension that bests a Wrangler Rubicon in ground clearance and hangs with it in other critical off-road geometry. It pairs a full-time 4-wheel drive system with a sophisticated terrain response system replete with automatic center and rear lockers, making off-roading an absolute breeze. The electronics are amazing and configurable beyond the numerous pre-programmed surface types. I just wish the terrain response controls weren't shared with the climate buttons and knobs over here at a decent reach from the driver. You can view the selections on the center screen or right here depending upon how you've configured the display. With these optional new Goodyear Wrangler Adventure tires, this Defender makes mud, ruts, and rocks seem like a mere inconvenience. And as long as the side view mirrors are extended, the Wade sensing system is amazing technology that visually communicates how deep the water is. I'd love to show you even more of it, but my GoPro is somewhere down there with the frogs. Maybe I can find it next spring.
Now you may be wondering what this area here is designated for. Well, it's for the optional side-mounted gear carrier or even a roof ladder. Now Land Rover's dizzying array of options and accessories is off the charts. So if you're one of those people who loves going online and configuring vehicles, the Defender is your happy place. And the level of customization is off the charts.
From a built-in air compressor to dog bowls to a hose to wash off muddy gear, building your Defender couldn't be more fun or complete. Surprisingly, Land Rover hasn't made any of these fun items available on this press vehicle, but go to the retail site to learn more. The rear-mounted spare, swing-out door, alpine lighting, exposed fasteners, deep floor liners, lots of little cubbies and restraining straps. The Defender isn't a luxury SUV pretending to be an off-roader. This is the real deal and ready for upscale adventure.
The Defender's cabin is utilitarian, yet capable of honoring its $73,000 asking price. And mine here is a 5-seater, though 6- and 7-seat configurations are also available. And this one here is pretty loaded, with optional goodies such as the panoramic roof, the heated steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, sat radio, and heated memory front seats. But the one thing I've come to learn about the Defender is that its ergonomics aren't the greatest.
First, the smart key buttons on the door handles are on the wrong side. The grab handles integrated into the dash as opposed to up high provide no leverage, and without the running boards, this can be a big step up depending upon where the suspension is set. The cruise control settings are confusing and should be on the left with the volume dial over here on the right, and the shifter is kind of in the way of the lower portion of the touchscreen. The rear door is really heavy to swing, and there's no wireless CarPlay or Android Auto, but there is a wireless charge pad over here away from the connection ports, all reducing the Defender's zen. And while I'm nitpicking, a vehicle like this should have a head-up display as standard, because following the 4x4 info over here while you're trying to pay attention to your surroundings makes no sense. This here is the Defender 110 SE with the step-up mild hybrid turbocharged inline-six, producing a robust 395 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Good for a spirited takeoff to 60 miles per hour in only 5.8 seconds. The ZF8 speed is the best in the industry and includes a sport mode with manual shifting but no paddles. Expect 19 mpg on premium, and towing is maxed at a capable 8,200 pounds.
The turbo adds plenty of zip to this V6. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by just how quickly this Defender moves. It's quiet, and the air suspension makes for a supremely smooth ride. So even though this is a serious off-road machine, it never feels plodding or unrefined on-road, even with these optional all-terrain tires. I do, however, find that both the throttle and the brakes are a little jumpy, so it's difficult to drive deftly around town. Characteristics that are certainly unwelcome on the trail, but luckily, Terrain Response takes care of that.
This is the first Land Rover to introduce this next-gen braking system, which feels much better out here than it does in around the town driving, where it gets grabby until you learn how to adapt your right foot pressure. But its pedal-activated hold feature is very convenient. The new infotainment system kind of floats on the tunneled-out dash and is a big step up from previous Land Rover systems. It's fast and more intuitively programmed with smarter voice recognition. I just wish the various camera views were clearer. There are plenty of angles to access, but they're graphically ambiguous. The seats are comfortable, and I appreciate that they're not leather, and the rear seats, which do get proper grab handles, offer big space even though there's no adjustability. There are lots of clever connection points, too. And then with the cargo area, it's tall, and accessing it can be made easier by lowering the air springs, offering generous carrying capacity when the rear seat bottoms are tumbled forward and the surface completely flattened. Again, plenty of available accessories to customize this space if you so desire. This P400 model starts at about $62,000, and then with the driver assist, climate, and both off-road packs, in addition to a handful of other standalone options, comes in at $73,043. It looks amazing in this Gondwana stone paint, and its boxy, determined design hits all of the marks for an off-roader. By and large, it drives as confidently on-road as it does out here, where it feels like the boss you'd expect. The shorter two-door Defender 90 has been delayed, but is coming next year. Until then, this is a big winner for Land Rover and should excite the Defender's fan base. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.